Okay, Duriites, welcome to our very first live slugfest of the 2015 Emmys. We have a chat box along the side. Tell us what you're thinking. We'll read your comments here on the air. We're going to do lead actress in a comedy series. This has gone to Julie Louis-Dreyfus 3 years in a row. And Rob, do you think she's a slam dunk to win number 4?
No. The answer is no. I think she's going to win, and I have her in first place, but I think that there's a chance that really any of these women could win. I really honestly could make an argument for any of them. But at the moment, I think Lily Tomlin is a bit of a threat.
Why? Because she's not very high up in our rankings at Golden.
No, she's not. But do you notice that she gets nominated for a lot of things over the years? She's very popular. She was the only person singled out from Grace and Frankie, so they don't really love the show. I just think if it's not all about episodes, we've had this discussion over the last 24 hours, if it's not all about the episode, then we have to watch out for her because she is a very well-loved and respected comedic legend, and she's okay in her episode. It's not her best submission, but I think that we have to watch out for Lily Tomlin.
She's also on the board of governors of the TV Academy. That can never be ignored.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. Yeah,
I'm sure that's why she was singled out of Grace and Frankie, because in her episode, I mean, I'm sure you watched it. She's not Jane Fonda has a lot to do, and she's actually really good in it. And I didn't really think Tomlin really had too much of a standout scene there, so I just don't see. I mean, but again, it's not. You're right. It's not based really on episodes this year. I mean, as we know, people can go in and vote as long as they answer a few questions, and then go right into who they decide to be, the best of that lineup. So if she's got enough of the older Emmy people voting for her, then she could definitely take it. Sure.
Yeah. Chris Beecham did a lot of good chats over the past week with the Emmy president and the Emmy CEO, and they said that all these rule changes that they created was basically to make it so that new people might get in there and win. But they also said if someone has won 3 or 4 times and they deserve it, then they should keep winning. But at the same time, I think they want to see new winners.
Yeah, I think they're sick of reruns, right? Reruns are boring. We're so tired of seeing the same people win over and over again. That being said, we can't rule out Julia. She's probably in the lead. She's very good in her episode. And we're here to talk about the episodes, right? Like, that's the main reason for why we watched them all. And as for episodes, I think Lisa Kudrow's episode is fantastic. She had a better one, but this one's really good. And Julia, she's fantastic in her episode.
What was her better one? I'm just curious. I think she went with the best one.
The Kudrow?
Kudrow?
I think that the finale would have been
Julia.
much.
I'm sorry.
No. Julia had the best. She picked her best. I mean,
she only had one episode to go with, so this was the one that she had to go with.
I agree.
She's fantastic.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
It's the episode has a lot of in terms of its tone and the moods that and the arcs that her character goes through. Reminds me a lot of her past winners as well, like Crate, like last year with Crate, where she's scolding everyone and then she's up again. Although in this one, she comes back down in a severe way, but it still reminds me of those up and down arcs that really have helped her in the past.
Yeah, totally. And I'm going to pick a fight with Tom Haverford, a pretend fight, because firstly, we can't rule out Lily Tomlin. That's my view. Secondly, Edie Falco is brilliant in her episode in the series finale of Nurse Jackie. She's not funny, but who cares? And thirdly,
the Emmy voters care.
I don't know if they care. She has actually won before.
When you have a performance, she was funny in that. But let's also make this clear: these are actors voting, and even if it's not the most funny, the level of the performance in that cannot be underestimated.
And she's great, and she's really, really good in this episode. And thirdly, I have Amy Schumer down in 6th, so it's like we're all completely not on the same page today, which is great.
Right. I think we all have number 1 the same, and then after that, it's like a crapshoot of who's 2 through 6.
Yeah.
Basically.
So who is gunning for someone other than, does anyone actually think Schumer can do this? Let's start with that, because some people in the chat box are talking about Schumer right now. Amy Schumer, that is.
Yes, of course she can. Mm-hmm. Of course she can. I mean, she has a really hot factor to her that none of the other nominees in this category have, in terms of her presence and just what a hot commodity she is right now. So, and her show has 7 nominations total. That's more, I believe that's more than Nurse Jackie. That's more than Grace and Frankie. That's more than The Comeback. That's more than Parks and Rec. So, you know, her show has more nominations than every show in this category than Veep, other than Veep. So that cannot be underestimated. And I'm going to say that word a lot this cast, but it cannot be underestimated.
Jed says if anybody can take down Julia, it has to be Amy Schumer. Boomer's Accent says Schumer Buzz alone has her top 3.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Schumer cannot be discounted that low. I mean, her episode probably wasn't the best one to submit, but I mean, with all the momentum and buzz that she's got going on right now, and you know, if this does truly become a popularity contest, like the SAGs potentially, like we're thinking some of it could be, she's definitely. I have her in second. I think she's the closest to upsetting Julie Louis-Dreyfus. My only concern with her is that she's just so like people either really like her or they really don't. And the episode that she submitted isn't particularly funny until there's a few skits in there that are really good. So I'm not sure if that's going to sway the people that don't like her to actually rank her first on their ballot. So who knows?
Yeah,
I think all of her sketches are funny. I just don't think she could win because, you know, sketch people don't win in these type of acting races.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, but we haven't seen. We've only had one other example of this type of sketch. Usually, we're thinking of the Saturday Night Live people. You have to watch an entire episode, which take out commercials. That's a solid hour, and then you have musical performances, and there can be long stretches where they're not in there. This one, I mean, it's her show, and it's only a half hour, so. Yeah. Although she does feel, at times it does feel like she's more in the background and it's more reactive, but with some of the skits. But she is still, it's all her.
Yeah.
And we only have one other thing to base that on, and that was last year with Fred Armisen.
Yeah, that's true. But and I agree, she's so hot right now that making an argument for her makes a lot of sense. But you guys have already said this. It's really important to remember that she's very polarizing. Very polarizing. People love her or hate her. And the snob factor is not going to help her. Like there's a lot of Emmy voters who will not go for this kind of material. They just won't. And thirdly, her episode submission is not very good. She had better to choose from. And so those things give me pause. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think the other women are so good. That's the only reason why I have her down in 6. That's probably stupid, I know, but I just think the arguments against her really don't help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much snob factor really comes into play this year, though, just because I think the reason, or when you guys interviewed him on the red carpet the other day, Marcus, when you guys were talking to president of the TV Academy, he was saying how he wanted younger voters to come in, and that was, you know, a big reason for them to open up the voting like this. So I think, if anything, the younger voters actually help Schumer, and it's harder for older voters to log in or even have the patience to go to a computer and log in and do that stuff. So I'm not sure how much that would work against her so much anymore, but I think the other things you bring up are absolutely true.
And Surprise Lover is wondering, could Lily Tomlin's Oscar buzz help her win like Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Sure.
And the fact that she's the only veteran in this category, that will help too. I mean, a lot of voters...
I'm sorry, you got to rephrase that, Marcus. Veteran Julie Louis-Dreyfus has 5 Emmys. You know.
I'm talking about age.
Okay, then just say the oldest.
No, but you know what Marcus is saying. Like, you can't compare Tomlin to Dreyfus. Like, Lily Tomlin is really the veteran of this category. There's no comparison. She's been around so much longer than Julia has.
She's the legend.
I think that's the point, right?
She's the legend.
Yeah.
She's the legend. Okay, let's be slightly pedantic and say that she's the legend. And
I find your argument very shallow and pedantic.
What about Amy Poehler? Because everybody in the chat box seems to be talking about Amy Poehler and how they're. I know Gold Derby's a huge Parks and Rec. There's a huge fan of Park and Rec there, so it could just be that. But does she legitimately have a shot here? I mean, I think she had a great episode to submit, but I'm not sure if she submitted the right one.
Correct.
You know what's funny? I was on that bandwagon too of she should have submitted Leslie and Ron. I was very, very heartbroken when she didn't submit that because personally I want her to win. But I rewatched the finale. She's in that thing from beginning to end. She's in almost every scene, except for the rare scenes where it's like, Andy and whatever his wife's name is, and
April
and Andy, yeah. But like she's in the whole thing, and that's an hour instead of 22 minutes.
Yeah. It's a great episode too, by the way. I stopped watching Parks and Rec years ago, and I watched this obviously, and I was so enamored by it. What a great finale! She's really good in it too, and I would love to see her win the Emmy. That would be just such an amazing moment for us all to witness that.
I know, and there's such a big Parks and Rec community here at Gold Derby. I think the website would just shut down if she finally won.
Oh yeah, we would break the internet.
Yeah, Riley, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Are we doing rankings this time, or are we just kind of?
Yeah, we all have Julia at number 1.
Yeah, I think Amy Schumer is pretty competitive. I think she's not, first seen as an actress. She's more of a comic and a writer, so I think that hurts her a bit. And yeah, I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus is pretty unstoppable. I mean, I worry a bit that she only has one SAG award for this role. I feel like her popularity and kind of the scale of the role should have gotten her a bit more by now. But I don't know. I think this category has so many dramatic people in it that Amy Schumer is really refreshing in that sense. And then I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus just has by far the best tape in terms of both acting and comedy. I mean, like, Edie Falco has a really good tape, but it's wholly dramatic. So.
Yeah, a lot of tears in that one.
Yeah.
But like when Julia cried in election night, it was funny crying, and that's a huge difference between Edie Falco's crying in her finale, which was called Say a Little
Prayer for You.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was more nostalgic, saying goodbye type crying.
And junkie crying.
And junkie crying, which is always a plus. Can we talk about my favorite, which is Lisa Kudrow, because I would. Although I said Amy Poehler would be really great to see, I really love the comeback, and I love Lisa Kudrow in that show. And without being too fanboyish, I was so impressed with that second season. And even though she should have picked the finale, that would have been a real competitive tape for her. She's really good in this too, and she's in it a lot. It's on her face pretty much almost the entire episode, and she does the green screen stuff. It's really funny. It's really, really good. Is there any chance in the universe that she might actually take this out, or take Julia Louis-Dreyfus out and win? Probably not.
I think it's on her face, except for her big moment at the end when she's crying and the camera is staring at the car window. I thought that was kind of a strange moment.
That was strange.
I had Lisa Kudrow at number 1 until today, because it was more like a pipe dream because I want her to win, but now it's time to get real. I think I put her down in 4th place, actually.
Marcus, you're all over the place with who you want to win. You just said you wanted Amy Poehler to win.
He likes a lot of them.
I know.
That's a good thing.
And you know what? I kind of want Julia to win too because she's my favorite TV actress. So
Marcus, you either need to make up your mind or go back to Africa. Okay?
What? No, it's okay. Ralph, who's your favorite? Because your real favorite's not here. So let's talk about who you would like to see win.
If my real favorite was here and she submitted the pilot, she would be unbeatable. But
I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say that. Yeah.
I don't particularly agree that Lisa Kudrow was that funny in her episode. I watched it just the other week, and I mean, I think she was more like, you were more like wanting to shake her and be like, just go and yell at this guy that's treating you like crap or something, more than you're laughing. I mean, even the green screen stuff when she's like green screen stuff where she's like glancing around, it's not that great. And then I watched the finale again, and I thought, damn it, this woman should have submitted that. She would have just, I mean, that was just a great episode all around. She had everything there. But I would really want Amy Schumer to win this one. I think she's had an incredible year, and her show has had some really kind of strong statements in it that I think got people talking. And I also think she's funny. I mean, Julia has 3 of these Emmys already. Like, does she really need a 4th? So I'm hoping Schumer, but I think if I was being honest, Julia Louis-Dreyfus probably has this. But then again, what do you guys think about? I mean, with the new voting system, remember, like, before there were like 70, 80 people on a panel that were voting on this award. Now you can have, 20 people if nobody wants to vote in comedy lead actress to as many as like, over 1,000 people voting in the category. Like, do you really think these people are actually going to come in that want Julia Louis-Dreyfus to win are going to come in and vote for her again after they voted for her 3 times before, or they know that she's won 3 times before? I mean, that could open the door for other people. The amount of people that are going to go and actually vote in this category.
Yeah, it's so tough to know.
So tough.
The president said that the voting turnout was in some categories it was 10 times higher than years past. Some categories, I think he said 100 times higher. So this is obviously working out. We're getting a lot of new people voting, but are you right? Is it Julie Louis-Dreyfus fans that are voting, or is it Amy Schumer fans coming in out of nowhere to vote? I don't know. Let's just draw a coin, a 6-sided coin.
Well, this is the first year that Veep could really win comedy series, so I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus has helped a lot by that.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah. Cool. Absolutely. You know what, guys? All we can do is watch the episodes and give our views as to what episodes were strongest. We have no idea what's going to happen with the new voting system. Honestly, let's be honest here. So, we can say this person's popular and this person's in a big film and this person might get nominated for Oscars, and that's all great. But as for episodes, Julia Louis-Dreyfus has a very strong submission. She's Julia Louis freaking Dreyfus. She's in Veep, which might mean comedy series. Like, all those things seem to be putting her out in front. And I think that's all we can do, because this category is a killer. Any of them could win it. They're all very funny, all apart from Darko, are all very good. So it's a tough one. Really
and
tough.
last year's winner, Jay Seidel, he says he's going for Amy Poehler. This is the guy that won our contest last year. So there you go. That's a Poehler vote.
Yay, we'll have a new winner for the contest then.
Wow.
Riley's throwing down. Yeah, that's good.
Riley has a #1 fan in the chat box.
Yeah,
is that your mother?
Is that your mom? Your girlfriend?
Maybe.
Dad? I'm not sure.
I gotta tell my buddy to get off here.
Yeah.
Get off of there.
Yeah, that's all right.
A lot of love for Poehler. Surprise lover, Tom
What
Howard.
a surprise.
Listen, yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, it definitely if there are younger people voting, I know a lot of younger people love Parks and Rec. So that definitely could factor into there. And also we can't ignore, who was it there? Surprise Lover pointed out that Poehler is in one of the big series this summer, the Wet Hot American Summer series on Netflix, and was in Inside Out as well.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know what to do now. This is tough.
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll get a big Lazy Susan. Okay, we'll get a big Lazy Susan, and we'll put each one of the actual actresses on there, and then we'll just spin them around, and the last one standing gets it.
I want Julia to win just so we can see what crazy things she'll do at the podium this year. She always does something really funny.
Amy will
You have the dumbest reason for people to win all of these awards. all the time. Like, Jesus, dude. God.
Okay, did anyone have any
very
final
loving
thoughts
family.
before we do the next one?
Yeah, I'll just say that I had never seen The Comeback before. I was very excited because I'd been meaning to watch it, and that thing was the worst thing that I've seen in many, many years on film or television.
What?
I watched it. I gathered around my family. We watched the entire category, and it was just so uncomfortable. I didn't find any of it funny.
God.
I thought I would put that out there. I mean, to her credit, it is capital A acting. The Emmys do like to award material instead of performance, like when they went for Dan Bukatinsky or Scandal / Comeback co-star. So she has that, but I don't see how she has any chance when she couldn't beat Julia Louis-Dreyfus before under the tape system in 2006, and her show is so low rated, so she doesn't have the popularity going for her.
I think
Wow,
you silenced that.
I'm completely speechless. It must be a Canadian thing. I don't get it.
No, it's not a Canadian thing. Paul loves The Comeback.
Oh, does he? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Every opinions are like assholes. Yeah, everybody's got one. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But I don't know. I think she's really good, Riley. I think we have to. I think we just have to be aware that she could make a surprise because she's really, really funny in this episode. As you know, that's important. Being funny, isn't it? We talked about that earlier.
So,
Yeah, it's a strongly competitive category this year. A lot of the categories are especially this year, but this one in particular is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will sign off now, and we're going to come back in like 5 minutes with drama lead actress. So we'll let you know in the chat box when to refresh. So we'll see you in like 5 minutes.